Imagine a society always presenting perfect pictures and victorious successes. Social media is where this resides. For males, this well-chosen reality could destroy their confidence. They deal with constant comparisons and demands. But Stoicism is an old knowledge with a strong counteractive effect. This approach helps us to discover inner calm and strength within outside anarchy. Let's explore how Stoic ideas could enable guys to develop real self-worth and negotiate social media's pressures. 1. Idealized bodies online set unrealistic standards. Social media feeds are often filled with images of men possessing seemingly perfect physiques. These are often the result of professional photography, digital alterations, and specific lighting. What we see is a highly curated version of reality. It's important to remember that these images rarely represent the everyday appearance of most people. Yet, constant exposure to these idealized bodies can create a distorted perception of what a normal and healthy male body looks like. Men start to compare their own bodies to these unattainable standards. This comparison can lead to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction with their own physical appearance. They might feel pressured to achieve a certain muscularity or leanness that is not realistic or even healthy for their individual body type and lifestyle. This can trigger negative self-talk and a decline in body confidence. Stoicism offers a powerful counter to this. It reminds us that our bodies are merely external things. They are not inherently good or bad. Our worth as individuals is not tied to our physical appearance. The Stoics emphasized focusing on what we can control: our thoughts and actions. We can control our health through mindful eating and exercise, but we cannot control our genetic predispositions or the way our bodies naturally look. True contentment comes from accepting what we cannot change and focusing our energy on self-improvement in areas that truly matter, such as character and virtue. We must recognize that the images we see online are often illusions, carefully constructed to present an ideal that is rarely, if ever, fully achieved in reality. Instead of striving for an unrealistic physical ideal, Stoicism encourages us to appreciate our bodies for their functionality and resilience. Our bodies allow us to experience the world, to connect with others, and to pursue our goals. This functionality is far more valuable than any superficial aesthetic. By shifting our focus from external appearances to internal qualities and the capabilities of our bodies, we can break free from the trap of unrealistic social media standards and cultivate a more profound and lasting sense of self-acceptance. Remember, strength lies not just in physical appearance, but in character, resilience, and inner peace. 2. Perfect success posts breed feelings of inadequacy. Social media platforms are often a stage for showcasing achievements and successes. People tend to share their highlights, promotions, successful projects, luxurious vacations, and happy relationships. While there is nothing inherently wrong with sharing positive news, the constant stream of these curated successes can create a skewed perception of reality for those who are viewing them. Men, in particular, might feel pressured to constantly achieve and display similar levels of success in their own lives. When their own experiences don't measure up to the seemingly perfect narratives they see online, it can breed feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. They might start to question their own progress, their career paths, or their relationships, feeling like they are falling behind. This constant comparison can be detrimental to their self-esteem, leading to a sense of dissatisfaction even when they are making progress in their own lives. Stoicism provides a valuable perspective on success. It teaches us that true success lies not in external validation or the accumulation of wealth and status, but in living a virtuous life according to reason. The Stoics understood that external circumstances are often beyond our control. The opinions of others, the fluctuations of the market, and even luck can play a significant role in worldly success. Therefore, basing our self-worth on these external factors is a recipe for anxiety and disappointment. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own character, our integrity, our wisdom, and our courage. These are qualities that we can cultivate and control. True fulfillment comes from striving to be the best version of ourselves, regardless of external outcomes. When we see others' seemingly perfect successes online, Stoicism reminds us that we are only seeing a small, often carefully edited snapshot of their lives. We don't see the struggles, the setbacks, or the sacrifices that may have been involved. Furthermore, their definition of success may be very different from our own. We should focus on defining our own values and pursuing our own goals with integrity and diligence, without being swayed by the external noise of social media. Our self-worth should be rooted in our own character and our commitment to living a virtuous life, not in comparing ourselves to the curated highlights of others. 3. Projecting perfection online hides real insecurities. Social media often encourages individuals to present an idealized version of themselves to the world. People carefully select photos, craft witty captions, and share only their most positive experiences. This creates a culture of projecting perfection, where vulnerabilities and imperfections are often hidden from view. While this might seem like a way to connect and share, it can have a detrimental impact on the self-esteem of those who are consuming this content, especially men. When men constantly see others projecting an image of flawless confidence and happiness, they might feel pressure to do the same, even if it doesn't reflect their internal reality. This can lead to a situation where individuals feel the need to hide their own insecurities and struggles, fearing judgment or appearing weak. The act of constantly curating a perfect online persona can also be exhausting and inauthentic, further contributing to feelings of anxiety and disconnect. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to this culture of projected perfection. It emphasizes the importance of authenticity and self-acceptance, including our flaws and imperfections. The Stoics believed that true strength lies not in pretending to be perfect, but in acknowledging our weaknesses and striving to improve. They understood that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a fundamental aspect of the human experience. Hiding our true selves behind a facade of perfection prevents genuine connection with others and hinders personal growth. Stoicism encourages us to embrace our imperfections as opportunities for learning and development. It reminds us that everyone struggles and faces challenges. There is no shame in vulnerability. In fact, it can foster empathy and build stronger relationships. By accepting ourselves fully, including our flaws, we can free ourselves from the pressure of maintaining a perfect online image. Our self-worth should not be dependent on the approval or admiration of others based on a curated online persona. Instead, it should be rooted in our own self-awareness, our integrity, and our commitment to living in accordance with our values. Embracing authenticity allows us to connect with others on a deeper level and cultivate a more genuine sense of self-esteem that is not dependent on external validation. True strength comes from being honest with ourselves and with others, accepting our imperfections and striving for genuine self-improvement rather than the illusion of perfection. 4. Social comparison makes them feel not enough. One of the most pervasive aspects of social media is the constant opportunity for social comparison. We are constantly exposed to the lives, achievements, and possessions of others. This inherent feature of social media can have a significant negative impact on men's self-esteem. When men scroll through their feeds and see others seemingly living better, more exciting, or more successful lives, it can trigger feelings of inadequacy. They might compare their own relationships to the seemingly perfect partnerships they see online, their careers to the impressive job titles and promotions of others, or their possessions to the luxurious items being showcased. This constant upward comparison can lead to a sense of not being enough, even if they are doing well in their own lives. They might feel like they are falling behind, or that their own achievements are insignificant in comparison. This can erode their self-confidence and lead to dissatisfaction with their current circumstances. Stoicism offers a powerful framework for navigating the trap of social comparison. It teaches us that the only valid comparison is with our past selves. Are we striving to be better today than we were yesterday? Are we making progress towards our own goals and living in accordance with our values? The Stoics understood that external comparisons are often fruitless and can lead to unnecessary suffering. Everyone's journey is different, and everyone faces their own unique set of challenges and opportunities. Comparing ourselves to others based on superficial online presentations is like comparing apples and oranges. We don't know the full story behind what we see, and we don't know the internal struggles or sacrifices that may have been involved. Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own progress and our own values. It reminds us that true contentment comes from within, from living a virtuous life and striving to be the best version of ourselves, regardless of what others are doing or achieving. We should celebrate the successes of others without feeling diminished in our own worth. Their achievements do not detract from our own potential or our own value as individuals. By shifting our focus from external comparisons to internal growth and self-improvement, we can break free from the cycle of feeling not enough and cultivate a more resilient and authentic sense of self-esteem. Our worth is not determined by our external circumstances or by how we measure up to others online, but by our character and our commitment to living a meaningful life according to our own principles. 5. Superficial validation lowers intrinsic worth. Social media platforms often operate on a system of likes, comments, and shares. These metrics serve as a form of social validation. While receiving positive feedback can feel good in the short term, relying heavily on this superficial validation for our sense of self-worth can be detrimental in the long run, especially for men. When men base their self-esteem on the number of likes or positive comments they receive on their posts, their sense of worth becomes external and fragile. It becomes dependent on the opinions and actions of others, which are often beyond their control. This can lead to a constant need for external approval and a fear of negative feedback. When validation is not forthcoming, or when negative comments are received, it can significantly impact their self-esteem, leading to feelings of anxiety, disappointment, and even depression. Furthermore, the pursuit of superficial validation can lead individuals to present a false or exaggerated version of themselves online, further disconnecting them from their true selves. Stoicism offers a powerful alternative to this reliance on external validation. It teaches that our true worth as individuals is intrinsic and inherent. It is not determined by the opinions of others or by external metrics of success. The Stoics emphasized the importance of self-reliance and inner strength. They believed that true contentment comes from within, from living a virtuous life according to our own principles and values. We should strive for excellence in our character and actions, not for the fleeting approval of others. While social connection and positive feedback can be pleasant, they should not be the foundation of our self-esteem. Our sense of worth should be rooted in our own self-respect, our integrity, and our knowledge that we are striving to live a meaningful and virtuous life. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts, actions, and character. By cultivating inner strength and a strong sense of self-worth that is independent of external validation, we can navigate the superficiality of social media without allowing it to diminish our sense of self. We should seek genuine connection and meaningful relationships, but we should not allow our self-esteem to be dictated by likes and comments. True worth comes from within, from knowing our own values and living in accordance with them, regardless of external approval. 6. Online negativity increases stress and helplessness. Social media platforms, while offering opportunities for connection and information sharing, can also be breeding grounds for negativity. Online arguments, hateful comments, and the constant exposure to distressing news and opinions can significantly impact mental well-being, particularly for men. Men might feel pressured to engage in online debates or to defend their views, which can lead to increased stress and anxiety. Witnessing constant negativity can also create a sense of helplessness and cynicism about the world. The anonymity and distance afforded by the internet can embolden individuals to express negativity in ways they might not in face-to-face interactions. This constant barrage of negativity can erode one's sense of peace and contribute to feelings of overwhelm and powerlessness. Stoicism provides valuable tools for navigating online negativity. It teaches us the importance of focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. We cannot control the opinions or behavior of others online. Getting drawn into arguments or trying to change the minds of those who are determined to be negative is often a futile and emotionally draining exercise. Stoicism encourages us to practice emotional regulation and to not be easily swayed by external events or the opinions of others. We can choose how we respond to negativity. We can choose to disengage from toxic interactions and to limit our exposure to sources of online negativity. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of reason and perspective. We should strive to evaluate online content rationally and avoid getting carried away by emotional reactions. We should remember that what we see online is often a small and potentially biased sample of reality. It does not necessarily reflect the entirety of human experience. Furthermore, Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own values and actions. Instead of getting caught up in online negativity, we can direct our energy towards cultivating virtue, pursuing our goals, and engaging in activities that bring us meaning and purpose. By focusing on our inner state and what we can control, we can build resilience to external negativity and maintain a sense of peace and agency in the face of online challenges. We have the power to choose how we engage with social media and to protect our mental well-being by limiting our exposure to negativity and focusing on what truly matters. 7. FOMO creates anxiety about their social lives. Social media platforms often showcase a constant stream of social events, gatherings, and experiences that others are participating in. This can trigger a phenomenon known as the fear of missing out, or FOMO. Men scrolling through their feeds might see friends attending parties, going on trips, or enjoying social activities that they are not a part of. This can lead to feelings of exclusion, anxiety, and the perception that their own social lives are less exciting or fulfilling. They might feel pressured to constantly be in the know and to participate in every social event, even if it goes against their own preferences or needs. This can create a sense of social obligation and a fear of being left behind, leading to stress and dissatisfaction with their own pace and style of socializing. Stoicism offers a valuable perspective on managing FOMO. It reminds us that true contentment comes from within and is not dependent on external experiences or the approval of others. The Stoics emphasize the importance of appreciating the present moment and finding joy in our own experiences, rather than constantly longing for what others are doing. They understood that chasing after every social event or trying to keep up with everyone else is a recipe for exhaustion and dissatisfaction. We have a limited amount of time and energy, and we should focus on the relationships and activities that truly bring us value and meaning. Stoicism encourages us to be mindful of our own values and priorities. What truly matters to us in our social lives? Is it quantity of interactions or quality of connections? Is it attending every event or spending meaningful time with a few close friends? By clarifying our own values, we can make conscious choices about how we spend our time and energy, rather than being driven by the fear of missing out on what others are doing. Furthermore, Stoicism reminds us that what we see on social media is often a curated highlight reel. People tend to share their most exciting and positive experiences, while often omitting the mundane or less glamorous aspects of their lives. Comparing our everyday reality to these curated online presentations is unrealistic and can lead to unnecessary anxiety. True fulfillment comes from appreciating our own lives and finding joy in our own experiences, regardless of what others are doing. By focusing on gratitude for what we have and being present in our own lives, we can overcome the anxiety of FOMO and cultivate a more grounded and content sense of self. 8. Cyberbullying directly attacks their self-worth. Cyberbullying, the act of harassing or intimidating someone online, is a serious issue with profound negative consequences for the victim's self-esteem, particularly for men. Online platforms can provide a space for anonymity and distance, which can embolden perpetrators to engage in abusive behavior they might not otherwise exhibit. Men who are targeted by cyberbullying may experience feelings of shame, humiliation, anger, and isolation. The public nature of online platforms can amplify the impact of bullying, making victims feel exposed and vulnerable. Constant negative messages and attacks can erode their sense of self-worth and lead to significant psychological distress, including anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. Stoicism offers a framework for building resilience in the face of cyberbullying. It emphasizes the importance of inner strength and the ability to control our reactions to external events. While Stoicism does not condone or minimize the harm caused by bullying, it provides tools for managing our emotional response and protecting our inner peace. One key Stoic principle is understanding the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. We cannot control the behavior of cyberbullies, but we can control how we choose to respond to their attacks. Stoicism encourages us to not give power to the words or actions of others. Their negativity reflects their own character, not our worth. We can choose not to internalize their harmful messages. Another important Stoic principle is the practice of reason and perspective. We can try to view the situation rationally and recognize that the opinions of bullies are often based on their own insecurities or malice, rather than on any objective truth about us. We can also seek support from trusted friends, family, or mental health professionals. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of having a strong inner circle and seeking wisdom and guidance from others. While Stoicism encourages inner resilience, it does not mean that victims should suffer in silence. Reporting cyberbullying to platform administrators and, in some cases, law enforcement is a necessary step. However, from an internal perspective, Stoicism provides a powerful framework for protecting our self-worth by focusing on our own values, our own character, and our own inner strength, rather than allowing the negativity of others to define us. Our worth is inherent and cannot be diminished by the hateful words of others. 9. Social media addiction leads to isolation. Social media platforms are designed to be engaging and often employ techniques that can lead to addictive behavior. The constant stream of new content, notifications, and opportunities for interaction can create a cycle of compulsive use. While social media can facilitate connections, excessive and uncontrolled use can paradoxically lead to social isolation, particularly for men. Spending excessive amounts of time scrolling through feeds and engaging in online interactions can come at the expense of real-world relationships and face-to-face interactions. Men who are addicted to social media might find themselves spending less time with friends and family, neglecting hobbies and interests, and feeling increasingly disconnected from their physical surroundings. The superficial nature of many online interactions may not provide the same level of emotional fulfillment and genuine connection as in-person relationships. This can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation, even while being constantly connected online. Stoicism offers a powerful antidote to the dangers of social media addiction and the resulting isolation. It emphasizes the importance of moderation and self-control in all aspects of life. The Stoics believed in living in accordance with reason and virtue, which includes using our time and energy wisely. Excessive engagement with any external distraction, including social media, can detract from our ability to cultivate inner peace, pursue meaningful goals, and build strong relationships. Stoicism encourages us to be mindful of our habits and to exercise self-discipline in our use of technology. We should set intentional limits on our time spent online and prioritize real-world interactions and activities that nourish our well-being. The Stoics also valued genuine connection and meaningful relationships. They understood that true fulfillment comes from deep, authentic bonds with others, built on trust, empathy, and shared experiences. While social media can be a tool for maintaining some connections, it should not replace the richness and depth of face-to-face interactions. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate strong relationships in our physical lives and to prioritize spending quality time with the people we care about. Furthermore, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of self-sufficiency and finding contentment within ourselves. Relying too heavily on external validation or constant online engagement can make us feel dependent on external stimuli for happiness. By cultivating inner peace and finding joy in our own company and our own pursuits, we can reduce our reliance on social media for entertainment and connection. We can intentionally disconnect from the online world to reconnect with ourselves and our immediate surroundings. By practicing moderation, prioritizing real-world relationships, and cultivating inner contentment, we can avoid the trap of social media addiction and the resulting isolation, fostering a more balanced and fulfilling life. 10. Highlight reels make their lives seem boring. Social media platforms are often curated to present the most exciting, positive, and visually appealing aspects of individuals' lives. People tend to share their vacations, celebrations, achievements, and aesthetically pleasing moments. This creates a phenomenon where users are constantly exposed to a highlight reel of other people's experiences. For men, this constant exposure can lead to a feeling that their own lives are comparatively boring, mundane, or lacking in excitement. Even if their lives are perfectly normal and fulfilling, the constant barrage of extraordinary online content can create a sense of dissatisfaction and the feeling that they are missing out on something. This can lead to a negative comparison where their everyday routines and experiences seem inadequate in comparison to the seemingly glamorous lives of others online. This feeling of boredom or inadequacy can negatively impact their self-esteem and overall sense of well-being. Stoicism offers a powerful perspective shift to counter the negative effects of social media highlight reels. It emphasizes the importance of appreciating the present moment and finding joy in the ordinary aspects of life. The Stoics believed that true happiness is not dependent on grand experiences or external excitement, but rather on our inner state and our ability to find contentment in our daily lives. They encouraged mindfulness and gratitude for what we have, rather than constantly longing for something more or comparing ourselves to others' seemingly exciting experiences. Stoicism reminds us that what we see online is often a carefully selected and potentially exaggerated version of reality. The highlight reels rarely show the everyday struggles, the mundane tasks, or the moments of disappointment that are a part of everyone's life. Comparing our own behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's carefully curated highlight reel is an unfair and inaccurate comparison. True fulfillment comes from appreciating the simple joys of our own lives, a good conversation, a peaceful moment, the satisfaction of completing a task, the beauty of nature. Stoicism encourages us to find value and meaning in our daily routines and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for the things we often take for granted. By shifting our focus from external excitement to internal contentment and appreciating the present moment, we can break free from the trap of feeling that our lives are boring in comparison to the highlight reels of others. Our own experiences, however ordinary they may seem, hold value and can be a source of joy and fulfillment when we approach them with mindfulness and gratitude. True richness in life comes not from constant excitement, but from inner peace and appreciation for the everyday moments. Social media presents a complex landscape for men's self-esteem. The pressures to conform to unrealistic ideals, the constant comparisons, and the superficial validation systems can erode their sense of worth. However, the ancient wisdom of Stoicism offers a powerful path forward. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts and actions, by cultivating inner strength and resilience, and by finding contentment within ourselves, men can navigate the challenges of social media without sacrificing their self-esteem. Stoicism reminds us that true worth comes from character, virtue, and inner peace, not from external validation or the curated realities of the online world. By embracing Stoic principles, men can cultivate a more grounded, authentic, and resilient sense of self, empowering them to live fulfilling lives regardless of the pressures and illusions of social media.